Alright, hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between RiceDumpling and F91 here on Lost Temple. Now, I believe that actually translates to glutinous rice dumpling, but I just couldn't fit that much into here. I may just call him Rice throughout the rest of the game. Rice spawning as the red Protoss player at the 9 o'clock position. Meanwhile, we have F91 spawning here as the blue Zerg. According to the website, it is F91. F91, I believe, is in reference to a Gundam. So I'm sure there are a lot of anime fanboys out there and perhaps some fangirls, but it is Gundam. So fanboys out there who could tell me if I am right or wrong. So back over here, we still have RiceDumpling spawning as the red Protoss. We're going to go ahead and throw up the production tab. We do see a proxy pylon here currently being warped in. Now, actually, I'll save something for the end of the video, since I'll save something for the end of the video if I can remember. Anyway, so back over here, glutinous rice dumpling or lo mai fan bao, or just rice, and continuing to just chrono boost even more. We do see 3 drones now currently being trained up over here at this hatchery, so we'll be able to get some additional mining done as well and get a very strong economy. And no scouting yet coming in. We do see a scout coming in from the probe, and the probe is making its way across the map, and it's not a very early scout by any stretch of the imagination. So based on the timing of this, based on the timing, the Zerg player may think that it is either a spawning in this location, spawning in this location or this location. So we'll see how exactly the spawns will come out. We'll see whether or not that drone does try to move out and try to do some scouting, as we now currently getting a gateway and an assimilator. The spawning pool is already down, and we are currently getting 1 extractor up. So it looks like it will be metabolic boosted lings. So back over here, we now see 1 gateway coming online. There is another pylon coming in here, and we should perhaps get a cybernetics core right there, which would allow 1 zealot to stand in that position and hold against a very large army of Zerglings, especially if there was another sentry standing right here offering a little bit of DPS support as well. Drones now going into that extractor excuse me, going into the extractor now. And now we'll be able to get that metabolic boost as soon as it comes up. Also getting an overlord, and now continuing to just train up some Zerglings as well. We do see that a probe and a drone are now going at it at the low ground expansion over here. I believe the drone will actually come out ahead, as the probe now down to 5 hit points. The drone now trying to take down this pylon. The pylon should just be cancelled. We see that F91 is currently sitting on about 400 minerals, so he does want to be able to get that hatchery. The Zerglings now making their way over. Will it be placed down? Oh, another one being placed down. So nicely done once again. So the Zergling now trying to peck away at this pylon once again, as another Zergling trying to chase down. And this is just really strong aggression from Rice. Rice doing a good job with the zealots and the probe. And now perhaps he will be able to get some damage across. So the probe and the zealot now dealing damage. The probe has been taken down. And now very strong micro coming in. So using the slower attack rate of that zealot, and then pulling back in between each round of attack, and was able to get a decent number of kills. So 2 kills are already, and now you can see that that 1 zealot is trying to run away, but I believe it will be surrounded by Zerglings in just a moment. And the zealot trying to pull away, was able to get another kill onto another Zergling. And then with the kill of 1 drone and 2 Zerglings, it was worth its weight. We now see 1 Stalker sitting here, and that may be a problem, as Stalkers do not do well against the number of sentries there. And now that Stalker needs to hold that position. And wow, I'm a little surprised that the Stalker was able to fend that off. We now see another pylon currently warping in here. The sentry needs to hurry up and be chrono boosted out, as we are now getting 2 additional gateways. And now that Stalker going to sit there and try to hold it off. And oh, nicely done. Rice trapping a large number of Zerglings, about 5 Zerglings in this early portion of the game, and being able to clean up those Zerglings. And the losses are now starting to come in heavy for the Zerglings are now, the losses now coming in heavy for F91. It does look like the losses are higher for the Protoss player, but you got to remember that pylons, when they're cancelled, are not really a loss of 100 minerals. That's a little bit of a bug. He did cancel 2 of those pylons, so perhaps at most he lost about 50 minerals there, and not the 200 that you see currently in that calculation. So more sentries now coming in, and now getting another gateway, so making this choke point a little bit more narrow. Production-wise, we see a Nexus currently being warped in here, and we also have the hatchery already completed down over here, already getting that spawn larva, as we are now teching the tier 2, and now going for roaches. Roaches are very strong. And now taking a look at this build, the build does have 5 gateways currently being warped in. And what, not sure, oh, trying to take down that Overlord. The Overlord will be able to just park itself right there on that high ground. So the Zerg player will be able to get plenty of sight into this base continually. Back over here, the Nexus nearing completion as Roaches are now being trained. Currently running off of 2 gas so far with that Roach Warren. The Roach Warren, however, not getting the movement speed upgrade as we are not yet done at tier 2. Will take an additional, I believe, what, 20 more seconds about as this game continues. And now we have another gateway coming online. So this is going to be a 5-gate, perhaps a 5-gate push, as we have one probe joining in on this fight. I'm surprised that the probe did not try to warp in a pylon here and then have a backup pylon here. That's normally something that Protoss players do. They stair-step their pylons so that they are able to warp in, and then if that leading pylon gets taken down, they are able to warp in from a secondary pylon and then continue that push once again. We now see the Roach movement speed, and now Zerglings also being trained up by the Zerg player. Pylon will be completed in just a moment. However, there are not enough minerals to currently warp in any additional units. As you see more reinforcements coming in, the gateways most likely are currently on cooldown. There we go, currently on cooldown. And now we'll be able to warp in a decent number of units here in just a moment. But we now see a Nidus network. Nidus network coming in from F91, so there are decent overlords being positioned across the map, so we'll see if that aggression will be enough. Zerglings and Roaches now coming in. The force fields are a little bit late, as though, no, now getting down the rest of those force fields, and now fighting back. Zealots are going to have a difficult time trying to take down those Roaches that are behind that force field. There are a decent number of Rangers, and as those Zerglings once again trying to re-engage, Roaches now backing off once again. Not that much energy, no, it's still energy on those other 2 force fields over here on the north side, and now those Roaches able to fire and deal damage beyond the force fields. This is actually helping him a little bit more as he's able to start picking out and deal more damage. And now in comes another force field on the ramp. Beautifully done, but the Roaches are now starting to rack up that damage. One Roach was taken down. Stalker and Roaches now trying to come in. Zerglings still trying to swarm in, trying to get more damage. Another force field, however, badly placed, and those Zerglings will be able to swarm in. We do see the pylon currently warping in more units as well, as those Zerglings are just coming around trying to surround this location. Production, more Zerglings coming in as another force field now being laid down. More Zerglings now trying to hide back. Drones finally being pulled off the mineral line in order to engage here, and now those drones being forced to pull back. No more energy on force fields as there are no more sentries, and now the Zerglings starting to walk up that ramp. Roach perhaps going to stand on this high ground, and still no Nidus network play coming in just quite yet. So the Roaches perhaps going to try to focus on some of those lower hit point units, but the shields have recharged. So as those shields recharge, now we see Rice just doing a great job and now pulling back, doesn't want to lose too much. And now we'll be able to perhaps put in a little bit more aggression as more reinforcements once again come in. Roaches trying to get up onto that high ground. We'll be able to get some damage dealt across some of those zealots. We do see that the hatchery currently low on hit points. More larvae will be spawning out in just a second. It needs to be critical to at least get the larva out, and the larva is now out as those Roaches continuing to just snipe down many of those zealots. The Nidus network is currently revealed as those Roaches now trying to deal more damage, and now Broodlings coming out. So Broodlings are going to start to swarm towards those Stalkers. A lot of larvae not being used, and now out comes a Queen again. The Stalkers, however, just moving and attacking, doing a great job, and I believe Rice will be able to clean up the game, and now there we go. GG coming in from F91, and thank you to SC2 Replays for placing the advertisement after the GG now. So yeah, it definitely helps. Really appreciate that. But back to this game now. RiceDumpling just did a really strong push, did a really great job in this game. He timed it well, also had that one pylon down. I would have liked to seen a second pylon, but his 5 gateway push was absolutely beautiful. He could have continued to warp in more units. He did let his macros slip just a little bit. Yeah, 3 warp gates on, with no cooldown, and now sitting on 900 minerals. A special thanks to GG Button. GG Button actually mailed me something similar to the Staples Easy Button. Now, if you've ever watched a Korean cast, those announcers get so excited about StarCraft 2. I mean, there's 3 of them. They're yelling into the microphone, talking, and almost screaming into the microphone. And then when the GG finally comes down, it is such like a hearty, heartfelt, guttural GG that You know, you just gotta remember it, and I'll just let the button speak for itself.
GG!
So yeah, F91 giving the
GG!
here on Lost Temple between Rice. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, I hope you guys enjoyed this 1v1 replay.